And good morning, everybody. From Hawaii, it is 9:32 a.m. And here we are on the No Filter Network, thanks to Eric Burns and his crew. And with me today is a very special guest who, in fact, I never officially got to meet in person, but we're meeting for the first time here. And it's Telsah-Marie Kaufmann. Is that correct? What's up,
That is.
Telsa?
Hi, how are you?
No, I'm great. Just waking up, so getting the day rolling. Unlike some people in Arizona, who don't really sleep over there, but wake up and get their day started at the MDE Performance Center. What the heck is that about? Like every time I watch a story, you literally are posting like, did I sleep 2, 3, or 4 hours today? And you're at the gym at literally
Yep.
5 a.m.
It's just become a part of my life now. I don't know, it feels more routine and more comfortable than anything. It's weird. You think that I would require a little bit more sleep, but I don't know.
I mean,
It
some
just
people would
feels.
think you're crazy. Like
I
doctors, everyone
sleep.
says 7 hours minimum.
Yeah, no, not in my realm. If I get more than 2, I'm
Now,
happy.
now is that because like your work schedule, or did that just become a habit? Like what the fuck is going on? Because there's no
I
way I'm
live
waking up in 2, 3 hours and going straight to the gym.
I live a very busy life. I work full time 7 days a week and then part time at least 3 to 4 days a week as well. So I only have a small segment of time that I get to myself. So even though it is early, I'm tired as shit and I'm exhausted and I want to sleep, that is the only time that I physically have for myself, like to be active and like mentally get my time, you know? So
Hmm.
it's just like a safe haven for me in a weird way.
I mean, like I kind of feel bad. I guess I'm taking away an hour from your could be me time, your rest between jobs or whatever else you got going on in your busy day. So
No,
I'm
I
honored to
appreciate,
have you here.
and I'm very excited to like share my journey, help other people, kind of guide them and talk about my journey and if it can relate to anyone, and I don't know, open up people's minds.
Well, I mean, you're not the person you are, like you're not the same person you are now as you were years ago. Um,
Yeah.
your health was a big issue, and um, you're now this incredible, in shape, on the go kind of woman. Kicking ass. Um,
Thank
Tell us about what made you a little more health conscious, and what made you want to change the way you live, the way you work out, the way you handle your business every day, day to day, and what makes you Telsa now, instead of the Telsa back a couple years ago.
I hated living my life with excuses. Sounds very basic, but I was 19 years old and I was almost 300 pounds. Um,
How old are you
the
now?
things I'm 25.
Okay.
So I've lost 25 pounds now. But I hated having an excuse for everything, for not being active, for not changing my ways, my lifestyle. I wanted I wanted to make me again because I felt like I didn't have control then. So making these changes as going to the gym and doing this dietary things, like it was hard physically, but like mentally I was so ready to be there already. I was, I don't know, like craving that change. I needed it.
Did
Not
you did
only
you
for
see did you see something, or did someone tell you something, or the people around
there
you?
was
What?
there was comments that were made towards me when I was younger that made me feel a little bit more insecure. But
Mm-hmm.
from an outside standpoint, no one was able to really see my insecurity because like I hid it very well. Which I mean, I give myself props to, but then I also kind of trapped myself mentally and I just broke down, which I think I needed so I can overcome that. But I was just tired of not being able to do the things that people my age were doing. I couldn't go outside and go on a walk without being out of breath for more than 20 minutes. I didn't
Yeah.
have any desire to go to the gym or change what I was feeling with my body. I felt like shit every time I ate food. But then in order to make me feel better, I would eat more food. So it was just very mentally draining as well as physically.
Right. I mean, like, it seemed like everyone, I guess, is going through this whole mental health thing. Like, was there anything growing up as a kid that kind of got you in this rut into this, this girl that you changed away from? Like, was there
Um,
any depression? Was there any, like, what? Because everyone's going through something now, and it totally sucks, But it, I mean, unfortunately, I think things happen for a reason. And look at you, you have this amazing story to tell. So, I mean, like, what was there anything in particular that happened as a kid, or just a lifestyle, or parenting,
I went through a lot as a kid.
or like even bullying? Like, bullying is a big factor on someone's mental health. That
Yeah, I went through a lot as a kid. And I think that the best way that I was able to deal with my emotions was to eat. Um, I've said this before, like on my platforms, and I will forever say it that I fueled whatever I was feeling with food. So if I was feeling depressed, food would fix it. If I was feeling happy, food would fix it, make it 10 times better. Food was like my source, it was my comfort. Some people have comfort towards, drugs, alcohol, whatever the case may be. But for me, my comfort was food. I craved it, and even if I didn't want it, I still craved it mentally, even though I didn't need it physically. Um, so I don't know. It was just more of like a comforting effect that it had for me.
I mean, like, what I picture is the last scene in Dodgeball of what's his name, and he's eating his feelings away, and
Yeah,
because he lost the dodgeball tournament. Like, what?
he felt
It
like he missed
sucks
everything. So,
yeah,
yeah,
like the whole world's against him. He's mad at LaFleur, right? That
yeah.
Yeah. So, what was what was your like go-to comfort food at the time?
Taco Bell.
Are you still eating Taco Bell?
Literally, like maybe once or twice a year when I indulge.
Hey, that's pretty good. I mean, I stay away from fast food as much as I can. I think the last time I had Taco Bell was maybe, I think I had it once last year in 2023. I mean,
Yeah.
so I feel like once we find a healthy habit, we stay away. We stay away from, like, it's just staying away from bad food or our comforts in our past. I think it
Hmm.
becomes a lot easier. What would you get? Because I would always get
Exactly.
a Crunchwrap Supreme.
Um, I remember the list because it was
I
like my
mean, I
go-to
wish
order
they
on.
still had the value menu.
I know it's kind of shitty, but I would get a soft taco supreme, add extra sour cream and nacho cheese with a nacho bel grande, extra cheese, extra sour cream, no beans. And then if I was feeling a little feisty, I would add like a crunch wrap on top of it.
Damn. And
And
is
then when
this
they came out
like,
with like cinnamon ball things, those
I
cinnamon
remember
bites,
those. Those are like
yeah, it was
little
game.
Cinnadonnuts.
Yes, it was game over for those.
Yeah, I would do
But
Crunchwrap Supreme and then the
mhm.
cinnamon twist and maybe two crunchy tacos. But this is like 3 a.m., after a long night out. Like, are you
Yeah,
having a long night out, or is this just like, oh, I gotta
this
have
is
it, and it's any time of the
this
day?
is just everyday living. This is just, what? I'm feeling like I don't want to cook today, which was like pretty much every single day.
Right.
So just go through Taco Bell and they see me and they're like, "Hey, girl." We just
We
saw
got
you
your order ready.
It's bad when they like remember your name when you go through drive-throughs. You're like, I don't come here that often.
I mean, it depends how you look at it, right? It's always like how it's a perception. Like you might look at it as a bad thing, but ideally, it's kind of a good thing. It's like, wow, they remember me, they connect with me, and they know my order. And so it's like at the same time, it's a good thing. It's like, shoot, I don't have to tell her anything now.
That was my mindset then. Was like, oh my gosh, they remember me. I'm so important. And now
Yeah,
I look back, oh my God, they remembered me.
Well, I mean, we all need a connection. We all need love, and that was, a form of love that you were getting. That someone remembers you and remembers your order. So that's a cool thing to look at, and it's also funny too because it's like, well, now I'm not going to places, and now they probably don't remember me. But imagine how much easier it would have been now to like not have to go to Taco Bell because you can DoorDash or Uber Eats, and I mean, who knows if you would have even got out of a funk. This is
true.
Because like delivery systems are only happening within the last 2-3 years, ever since COVID, to make it easier on people.
Man, if we had DoorDash back then, or like even Uber Eats, my drivers would receive so many orders from me.
I would specifically drop off one day if I was a driver, knock on your door and be like, "Can I be your private driver? I will only work for you."
just hire me and solo leave me. I'd be like, game on, like, let's go. Yeah, that's it. I don't need anything else.
I'll help you. You help me. Maybe I'll bring you extra Taco Bell every now and
then. I'd be a happy camper.
Oh God. All right. So you wake up early. What time do you wake up?
3:45 every morning.
What time are you going to bed?
Depends on my second job. If I get off at midnight, I'm usually in bed by like 1:30.
1:30. So on average, 2 to 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no Taco Bell from the time you get off. Not anymore. Are you meal prepping then?
I don't necessarily meal prep right now. I'm on a cut, so I already know like my program and what to eat and whatnot. So I do like protein shakes, and my breakfast I make fresh every morning. So it's time management that I've kind of been able to, I don't know, do. Sometimes it is hard with my schedule working both jobs and trying to get my intake in and then not eat the food that's at the restaurant, but do pretty good. So
because I feel most people that are busy will like do a meal prep day on Sundays, but since you're working, like you don't really have time to meal prep. So the incredible thing is you're just making time to eat or to cook, within your 24-hour busy schedule.
Yeah, it's definitely become hard. And sometimes it's tedious and I'll go a little bit longer than I should without eating, but I try to like get little protein bars in while I can. I'll usually program it the night before in my fitness pal. And then so the next day when I'm like, okay, I'm starving, I need to eat something, I'll just look to see what's quick and easy, grab a yogurt out of the fridge, eat it really quick, and I'm good to go.
I mean, you're not eating while you work, I'm assuming.
Between my clients, so my full-time job, I'm a lash technician. So I have like usually like a 5-minute, 2-minute gap period between each client. So I'm able to kind of consume something during that time and then on to the next.
Bars, yogurt or something.
Yeah, I usually do like protein bars, and then I'll do occasional protein shakes when I have the chance to.
And so the only time you're eating a real meal is maybe like
breakfast.
Now? Breakfast?
It's
but are
usually
you really eating a full meal at 3 o'clock in the morning?
So it's after my workout. So I don't eat like after I get home. I get home,
technically
I shower.
You're still fasting.
Yeah.
You're still fasting until about, and you finish what? You finish workouts at about 6 o'clock?
Yeah,
a.m.
6. So I
when
usually,
everyone's waking up.
yeah. The sun's finally just now coming out.
But I mean, that's like one of the best schedules you could have. Like, wake up that early to get a workout in. And only when everyone's waking up is basically when you're almost a fourth through your day already and they're just beginning.
Mhm.
So it's like
Yeah.
that's gotta give you some motivation, some, I don't know, just that good feeling of like I got some shit done today. And everyone else is waking up.
Yeah.
It's like not to look down on people, but it's like I'm better than everyone else that's waking up right now. You know, but it's not that mindset. It's just how your schedule works.
Yeah. I like envy the people that get to sleep in, but then at the same time, I'm like, no, I don't have to rush to do it later today. I can breathe for 5 minutes before I have the next thing to do. I don't know. It works for me.
But are you taking a pre-workout for the workouts? Because I mean, you're only
Very much.
getting 2 hours of sleep. So is it a coffee?
I have to.
Is it BCAAs? What are you taking?
What is it? It's Broken Arrow. I love
Like, is
their
that the
pre-workout.
supplement? Is that the supplement
Yeah,
company?
it's the brand. It's the brand of
Okay.
them. But so I just take just one of your basics, pre-workouts, and yeah, don't have anything, like I said, till about 3 hours later.
Not even a banana or an apple or.
Mm-mm. My body is so programmed to not eat before the gym that I think if I were to eat something before the gym, it would not be a fun sight or a fun feeling.
So you're one of those that can't work out on I wouldn't say a full stomach, but on just anything, and like if you work out, you'll probably throw it up.
Yep. Yeah.
Damn. Because there'll be
Yeah.
times I'm like eating a full meal or eating like 2 shakes, and I go straight to working out, and I feel my.
Oh no, that makes me nauseous for you.
I'm psycho. Like I love to eat, and I've always noticed if I'm on an empty stomach, I get dizzy, I get lightheaded, and I feel so weak. So I guess my body and my mind learned how to just work out on a full stomach, or at least have something in my stomach. But like I could drink 2 of these, which are 32 ounces, and go right to working out, which I'll do right after this.
Oh, absolutely not. Like I'm drinking my protein shake right now. If I were to try to work out after this, like I said, it would be not a pretty scene.
Well, I mean, you're just blessing MDE and Marcos being a wild guy, he'd probably make you drink it back up.
Yeah, probably be like, "What are you doing? Clean up my floors. Let's go." And
He's
then
like,
get back into the workout.
and he's like, all right, let's go. You got to pump it up again. Let's go.
He's
What?
crazy. Absolutely
I
crazy.
love that guy. I can't wait to get back. I mean, I remember we were trying to, every time I'd visit Phoenix, I wouldn't have the time, or let's just say make the time, because there's always time. We just got to make it. But I wouldn't make the time to meet you at 5 o'clock, you know, just so I could see
Not
what
that
this
hard.
workout's about.
All you gotta
It's really
wake
not
up,
that hard.
go.
It's mental. It's all mental.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm not
I just
out in
feel
O-Town
like
till 2, then maybe.
I think that's why. It's like you know that there's going to be like competition between us, and you're like, I
Oh,
don't know if I can get on the level. So
absolutely. I mean, you were already giving me shit about being the first one to hang upside down on the bar. I was like, no, there's no way. No one's doing that,
Yep.
because everyone looks at you like, oh, you're an idiot. Like, what the fuck are they doing?
Well, you're gonna learn today.
Yeah, but did you post that? Like, is there an actual post we can look back that you did that
Yeah,
before me?
I did.
Well, now, were you doing that just to hang or to stretch, or like was there an actual exercise? Because I do it just to like hang and turn my body upside down and kind of just feel like a monkey at a time.
Exactly. It's more of like just goofiness. Like I grew up doing cheer and gymnastics when I was way younger, and so it's more of like, especially being smaller, like me being able to do that with breeze and ease, like it's more fun than anything,
Right.
and kind of see what I can do out of it rather than actually a workout.
Like it's fun to be a monkey in a gym. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's where they got monkeying around from. I think it's from a like a jungle gym, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
like my middle name is Hawaiian, Kamali'i Ho'olua, but it means playful child. So I mean,
Hmm.
I've always been
That's
a
kind
kid that
of cool.
just kind of messes around and screws up until I get in trouble.
Yeah. And you would say that's pretty accurate?
Absolutely. Still is to this day at 33.
You're just living your life. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Trying to. No, not at all. I mean, I just I looked at a Cat Williams. I might have posted it. Actually, I did post it. Let's see if I can put it on. But the Cat Williams video, no, I didn't. I put a story where Cat Williams was being interviewed by Shannon Sharp. Is that the one?
Mhm.
Or they were doing a podcast, but he was just saying live every day as if it's your last. So
Yeah.
like you wanna be able to go to bed knowing if I don't wake up tomorrow, this is it. Like this is like everything you look back on the day. It's like that's it.
Yeah, you don't regret anything. You did what you wanted to do as an individual. You lived for yourself.
Right. Um, Now, was that how you were going through about your days? Transforming.
Yeah, I'm a very selfless person, and I still am, but I have learned that it is okay to put yourself first and still care for other people. And that's like going through losing the weight is when it like really clicks for me, like, wow, like I deserve to put myself first. I deserve to put my health first and what I need and what I want. And I don't know, it was a very big like eye opener for me.
So, when was the first day or first time you realized like I can actually change my body, change the way I think, change the way I look? Like, when was that first day of realization that came to you as you were starting the journey?
I think it would probably be the day that I actually signed up for a gym membership. It was a very like weirdly powerful day for me mentally because I never really saw myself doing something like that. I would just do something more of like, oh, get like an easy membership at like Planet Fitness. But rather than that, I would join a gym where it was kind of like MDE. It was just in a town in Maricopa where I lived at the time. And it was a very scary moment, but also like, okay, I can take over this fear and I can turn this fear into something good and something powerful. It's just like more of a mindset.
Mm-hmm. No, what was the is that gym still going on? Like, is that still a
Yeah,
thing?
that's still very much there. I just don't live in Maricopa anymore. So when I came out here, it just didn't make any sense for me to travel back that way, which it was sad because I spent 2 years there. 2 years of my transformation of like becoming who I am and finding out who I am and what I wanted to do and where I wanted to be fitness wise. It was all back there. So it was really hard breaking off from that, but then I feel like you go through these things in life to take you to your next chapter, and I feel like that was a chapter that I needed at that time that allowed me to flourish into something different, and that's where I landed at MDE.
So during the journey at the old gym,
Hmm.
at what point of your fitness journey did you move to MDE? I mean, like, were you already kind of at a point of your life like, okay, I can kind of graduate from this gym because this is where I want it to be as far as my fitness journey and how I looked? Or did you still have work to go when you got to MDE?
I would say I was already past the level I needed to be at my old gym. It was more of, how I talked to you about that connection towards food.
Mm-hmm.
I connected with the gym in Maricopa. And even though I knew that I surpassed what they were offering, it was comforting to me. It was home to me. And transition was really hard for me to like move over and try to find a different gym, different people to work out with, a different coach to connect with. So it was very scary, but I knew I needed to because I wasn't making any progress. And I wanted to keep pushing myself. I already came so far within my weight loss journey and my fitness journey in general. I wanted to keep pushing myself. So I knew if I stayed stagnant that I was only gonna stay exactly where I was.
And that's the scary thing. I think everyone is always scared of change. And
Yeah.
your first step in going into a gym, that's a big thing. Because I bet you were just nervous just trying to walk in there and be like, hey, I want to sign up and,
Oh yeah.
get healthy again.
Mhm.
Now, did you sign up for a personal trainer? Because everyone is always looking like, well, I need a person. Like, I have so many friends that, well, I'm not going to the gym unless I'm told what to do and I need a personal trainer. Like, did you do that? Or did you kind of just find some motivation to, like, just go in the gym, try to do 30 minutes to an hour of something, either you looked it up on YouTube or you saw it on social media? Like, were you
So
getting help
it,
or were you kind of just
yeah,
going on your own?
I was definitely getting help because I already tried the whole like, oh, let me just show up to the gym and if I show up there, I'll find a workout. And every time I would do that, I would just continuously be scrolling and then I would jump from one movement to another movement. That just didn't make sense and I felt like my time was wasted. I needed someone to kind of direct me. I needed someone to be like, okay, I'm going to hold you accountable to do this and do this. And it helped me, understand the value of the gym and like how your body works and what muscle groups to work and how to use the machines properly. So when I went to that gym, I was completely unaware of things exactly. But having that guidance completely helped me. But like I said, I surpassed it after a little while. I wanted something that was a little bit more high intensity, gonna challenge me a little bit more, had more to offer. That was just more like a starter gym for me, I guess.
hmm Now, was there at any point you wanted to quit? Or was it every day like, no, I need more. Like I need to be challenged more. Or were
I would
you at a
say
certain
I
point out
always
of breath and like, fuck this. What the hell am I doing? Or was your mindset just so like, I want to be this other person and leave the lifestyle that I've been living?
of course I had those days where I was just like, I fucking hate life. I don't want to do anything. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I don't want to wake up tomorrow to do another workout. But the thing that helps me is looking back on pictures and remembering the way that I felt when I was heavier. And I know no matter how tired I am, no matter how exhausted I am, I never want to be that person again. And I don't want to allow myself to start making excuses to end up in that position again. So I think it's more of like holding myself accountable, even though it is hard and exhausting and makes me question life at certain times, especially with
Right.
the workouts Marcos has me doing. But it's worth it because I feel achieved at the end of the day, and I'm like, wow, if I didn't go to the gym today, would I have known that I would have been able to do that? You know,
Right.
it's always
It's
nice
really
seeing
just,
like the change.
hmm right. Because don't we, I think when we're going through something, I think the process is what we really hate because we only focus on the end result because
Yep.
that's how society is. But then when you get to that end result, we look back, it's like, well, I actually enjoyed the process, and without that process, it's like I don't get here.
Yeah.
Without that day of struggling, without meeting that coach, without eating and doing all the things that I did, I don't get here. And I think
No.
we don't appreciate the process because unfortunately society is always result driven, and anything
Hmm.
that we do, even careers, it's like you're going to get fired if you don't produce.
Yeah.
But how do you produce is kind of what we lose focus on and what we need to focus back on. And the
Hmm.
fact that you went through how many years until you're at the weight now from the time
Um,
time you started?
4 years.
So 4 years of just shit and waking up and training. And I mean, I don't have a story like this, so I mean, I don't know the transformation stages you went through, which is so
Hmm.
incredible. But I mean, without those 4 years, um, I might be not talking to the Telsa I am right now. And
Yeah.
that's the really cool thing about it. And I don't think
Exactly.
for a second you could look back and be like, yeah, I would never want to be that girl again. Like you're like, this is who I am. This is who I've always meant to be.
Hmm. I finally feel like I found my calling. I found myself. Because like I said back then, I was just, it felt like I was living for other people rather than living for myself. And that was a hard pill to swallow, especially growing up. Like I was young when, I decided to make the change, which props to me for being young and being as dedicated as I was. But it was a very hard pill to swallow. And it was like, shit, I need to do this. It's not a want anymore, it's a need.
Yeah, yeah. And then a need just turns into a habit, and now it's just a habit.
Yeah. And
And
then it
it's and
becomes
it's
like a happy habit. It doesn't feel like
yeah,
work. It doesn't feel like I'm dreading it. It feels more like an enjoyment. Like when I go to the gym that early, it's not
it's an
dreadful. I
enjoyment.
get
You're like,
yeah.
fuck yeah, I get a deadlift 500 pounds today, or I get to do Marco's this crazy workout. Like, what else does he have for me? Like, bring it on. It's almost like a bring it on kind
Yeah,
of day. It's like
exactly.
I'm enjoying it. So like, I'm gonna show everyone your picture on Instagram, the transformation. But this is what Telsa transformed from and to. I mean, that's not the same. That's not the same woman. That's
Wow.
totally. I mean, you're the first person personally that I know that has transformed like that. Like I got a friend of mine who's a teammate, Jamie Westbrook, and I helped him lose like 20 pounds during the COVID month when we were playing together. But like
Hmm.
he was maybe a little over 200, and through just dieting and just getting his mentals right,
Hmm.
I helped him lose 10 to 15 pounds in a month to 2 months. So that was cool. But this transformation is like stupid. It's like you died and then you're born again and like splickety splat muscles and you know just straight up beauty and strength. So like that's the
Thank
cool
you.
thing.
Yeah,
Now,
I got very lucky that I changed my lifestyle at a young age. So my body was able to bounce back quicker
right,
and my body was able to recover in ways that I don't know if I would have been able to recover if I kept going down the path that I was going.
right. Like if you started now and you had to go into your 30, your body is growing differently, it's adapting differently. Whereas you're a teenager and you're doing
Yeah,
it, it's like your body was still growing. There's still things happening, and so
exactly.
it's pretty cool. Now my auntie just had surgery. I want to say a bypass surgery. Did you have anything to accelerate your change, your transformation, or was it
Yeah.
just everyday diet, exercise?
No, I got the help. So I underwent gastric sleeve. For people that it's kind of like the sister or the daughter of gastric bypass. So initially what they do is they remove like a portion of your stomach, like intestine. So when my stomach pouch is smaller, so I could eat a kid's meal and be completely full rather than having like an actual adult meal. Like my consumption is a quarter of the size of a regular adult or what it would have normally been. Um, so that it just minimizes your intake. But everything else has to be followed with dietary restrictions and watching what I eat, watching how I consume it, and then also being active. You can't just wake up and be a different person. You have to apply the work and the accountability that follows behind it.
Right, like you're given the tools now. Use the tools. Don't just let it
Yeah.
sit there.
And that's exactly what it is a lot of people say that it's easy way out or whatever the case may be, but it's not. All it is it's just a tool to help you progress your weight loss. You know, like if I didn't make the changes that I did, if I didn't change my mindset, I could very much still be the person I was 4 years ago, 5 years ago. It takes a lot to still, you know, require changing your diet and just your willpower to get up every single day and go work out and make yourself food rather than going to, you know, McDonald's or Taco Bell or whatever is convenient and easy.
Yep, and more easy now with all our delivery services. So thank God you're not part of that. But you know, if you do ever get home and you're like, well, shoot, I need something, and there might be something healthy open late, you know, then you could always make it that kind of a way. But
Yeah.
like, is this procedure reversible? Like now that you are who you are, can you like say, I want my stomach back to being normal? Can they make your stomach bigger? And like so that you can enjoy more food, eat like more healthy food instead of like, shoot, I just had a big salad, like that's all I can eat now.
No, it is not reversible. I mean, it is very much possible for me to gain all my weight back. All it takes is just me not being accountable of what I'm consuming and how much I'm consuming of it. Just like your stomach is a muscle. So the more you eat, the more you consume, the more the muscle grows. So you can always expand your stomach back out. If I overeat constantly, I can expand my stomach back out and I'm back at square one. So it is hard because sometimes, like, especially with me being more active, I'll be like, damn, I'm hungry and I just ate like 30 minutes ago. Even though my portions are small, I still have to be moderate about it. So like I said, it still requires a lot of attention and dedication to stay and maintain a healthy diet.
Right, because I mean, now that your lifestyle has changed, doesn't your like metabolism change? So now you're burning it faster, and so now you're hungry more often. Right, like I'm always
Oh yeah,
hungry because we're always active, we're always moving, we're either working, we're working out, and we're hardly sleeping.
exactly.
And when we're sleeping, our body's burning it way faster than when it used to.
Mm-hmm. It was weird because even though I was bigger, like I never was hungry in the mornings. Like I would always wait to consume my food till like noon, which I'd wake up at like 11 a.m. anyway. So I would like consume so later in the day. But like now I wake up and as soon as I'm done with the gym, like I'm ready to have first meal. Like I am craving it. And by the time I have my lunch, like I am ready to eat. But it's just because our body changes and my metabolism or lism is changing and going faster and quicker. So I'm gonna have to, you know.
Right. Um, Now, what is a typical Telsa day of eating?
Mm,
Like you wake up, you go to the gym, it's pre-workout, and that's are you going like 16 ounces of water and then you're refilling it throughout the workout, or you're only drinking that certain amount, and then what's after
I
that?
a hydro jug that I bring to the gym. So I'll sip on that during my workout, and that's like 32 ounces. I don't really drink all of it. I'll probably say I drink about 8 ounces of it at the gym. So I have my pre-workout, drink my water throughout my workout, come home, make my breakfast, and then I'll go through about 3 or 4 clients. Then I'll have my lunch around noon, and then
What
if
is
I'm working
what
both
is breakfast and
jobs,
lunch?
breakfast, because I'm on my cut right now, I'm very strict, but it's
Yeah.
egg whites, fat-free cheese, and fat-free turkey.
Now, is everything
So,
organic, or do you just shop at kind of whatever is affordable?
um, it's kind of a mixture of both. I get a lot of my stuff from Trader Joe's just because a lot of it is
Love it.
more organic, yeah, and more like fat-free. So with my cut, I try to do as low as fat as possible and high as protein. So that's just what fits in my macros, and I enjoy the taste of it. So
Now, are you adding a lot of spices, or are you kind of more just plain? Like on a cut,
plain.
can you add salt? Can you add pepper? Can you add like Cajun seasoning? Like
Yeah, I'll do
I've
like a
never
little
done the
dash
cutting and
of
stuff.
salt and pepper. I'll do like a dash of salt and pepper. I don't like to go too high just because it does have a lot of sodium.
But
One,
isn't sodium good for cutting because it's dehydrating?
yes and no, but because it can also throw off my in body scale.
Yes,
So if
yes.
I don't have that around the same portion each time, it can throw off my in body scan, which will initially throw off like my
So it's
progress.
just a big domino effect. If you change one thing,
Mhm.
affects one and one and one and one and one.
Yeah, so it's easier for me to just kind of stay in my routine and do what I know rather than trying to be like, oh, let me just try this or spice this up.
Okay. Okay. So what is lunch then?
Protein shake.
That's it.
Yeah.
And is that from Broken Arrow?
No. So I do like a usually vegan whey protein. I just do like chocolate flavor and it's the powder. Mix it with some water, a frozen banana, ice, PB Fit powder, and blend it up. And I have that pretty much every day for lunch.
I was gonna say if you're not adding a peanut butter in there, like that's got to be one of the worst protein shakes ever. Like I have to add peanut butter
It
in all my protein shakes.
I mean, I can't tell you the last time I actually had full on peanut butter. I miss it. So I use PB Fit powder and it
You
kind of
won't
tastes
have a
the same.
scoop of peanut butter at any point, just to
No,
like.
no.
Is it because of the cutting, or like if you're on a regular diet, could
If I
you incorporate a
if I
spoonful of peanut butter?
break everyday living, I could eat peanut butter like it's going out of style. But because I am cutting and I'm watching my fat intake, I like swap it with PB Fit powder.
But isn't that the same? Or what's the difference between the
No,
powder and organic peanut butter? Because I'd stay away from just your regular Jim's peanut butter or any processed peanut butter. Like, what's the difference?
okay. Well, I haven't tried organic peanut butter, so let me start off there. I usually, if I get peanut butter, I'm getting like Jif or something
Or
basic
yeah,
at Walmart.
Jeff.
I'm going,
You should not be getting that shit. Some of the worst shit for
and,
you.
oh, see, this is why I don't eat it because it is so good. If
Yeah,
I
but you
could, I
can eat
did it like with
organic
the
peanut butter and it's still good. You can even start making your own peanut butter, which I'm gonna start doing. Almond butter and peanut butter is like you can actually make it out of a juicer that I did not know. All you gotta do is
well,
soak
maybe
the
you can
nuts.
share that with us, and I will give
Yeah,
it a try.
I'll bring a tub to MDE
So then that means you're actually going to show up at 5 a.m.
one day. One day in 2024. How about that? I'll make a promise right now. One day I'll show up at 5 a.m. at MDE because I didn't realize
Okay,
how much of a club it is at 5 a.m. Like there's at least what 15, 20 people there at 5 a.m.
yeah, there's around like 15. And
Yeah, so
then
it's like
as
you're not
we
the only one waking your ass up early. Like you get 14 other
exactly.
people, including Marcos and his brother, waking up at probably 3 o'clock.
Yep,
That's insane.
trying to get it done.
I don't get it. Like, are you ever snoozing your alarm? Like even for
No,
5 minutes?
no.
It's once it hits, it's like, oh, I can't wait. Let's get my pre-workout so I can
Yeah,
kill the workout and then I can have my breakfast. Because I feel like you're always looking forward to the breakfast, not the workout.
yeah. It's a little bit of both, but I don't know. It's because if I know myself too well. If I sleep in or if I snooze, I'm gonna be pissed if I miss my workout. Because like I said, my schedule is so back to back that like I don't have time later in my day to make it up. So I only have a small window to myself to go to the gym. So if I don't wake up as soon as that alarm goes off, then I'm screwed.
Your day's shot. Your day's shot because you're
Yeah.
not signed up at a 24-hour gym somewhere where you could go after midnight, after your late night shift.
Nope. And I don't think Marcos would like me very much. I
Right.
texted him at one
Right. And you'd be
morning, like,
like,
hey, I
Marcos,
just got.
hey Marcos, I'm at some other shitty gym at 1 a.m. because I decided to sleep in. And now I'm probably gonna miss my 5 o'clock workout again because I didn't get home till 4 after this
Mm-hmm.
workout.
Yep.
And yeah, and then you'd have to probably have a whole reset day and be like, all right, no workout for this whole day just so I can go to sleep by 1 and wake up at 3 or 3:45.
Exactly. It just doesn't sound worth it to me. So waking up and going is the best way to go about it.
There's nothing wrong with being boring. I'm reading so many things now where just be boring. Have a routine, have a daily routine. Like it's okay to be that boring person that eats the same thing, work out at the same time, does the same things throughout the day because it's just it creates a good habit, a good process, a good living environment for you. And then yes, at
Exactly.
times we're gonna want to splurge and go hang out with friends, and there's always those times for it because we all need connection and friendship and fellowship. But in the meantime, it's like why not live for you and just do the things you want to do and create a habit and a routine.
Exactly. Like I said, it works for me. It's comforting to me to live in my routine. Um, and that's why I love it so much, is because I don't only like, it's not just a look good, feel good kind of thing. It's just like a mentally stimulating, like, wow, I feel like I can conquer the day. I got my workout in. I got, my breakfast going. It's just, I don't know.
I
It's
think I
become,
think it's just empowering to know that you did everything you wanted to do every day.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
okay, I conquered the day. It's like I can go to bed knowing if I don't wake up, like I did everything that I could and I
yeah.
wanted.
I took control of my life, took control of my day, and I handled the shit I needed to do, and I'm happy with it.
So what are you cutting for? Are you in a competition coming up?
So, Marcos does a challenge every year. First of the year, he starts a fat loss percentage challenge.
Fuck, I can't
So
do
pretty much
that.
what I do is I eat galore to try to get my body fat percentage up, and
From
then I
from
go
from when to when? Like once Thanksgiving
doing it.
hits to like this to like Christmas?
So December or no,
When are you
January
starting
1st.
to eat to get the fat up? Which no one ever ideally ever wants to do.
I mean, as soon as he like announces that he's for sure doing it, I'm going free for all and I am ordering as many cheesecakes as I want.
So
So
this is
this year
like
I think,
unhealthy fats.
yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Yeah, but doesn't your body feel like shit? And then I mean like yeah,
It
I
really,
guess it's part of the process, but it's
it really
like are you
does.
are you
I wasn't
breaking
I wasn't
out
like
when
I wasn't necessarily having like a free for all. I just wasn't on top of my macros as much as I normally would be. So I would have my like normal everyday routine, but if I wanted to throw in like a
Taco Bell?
cheeseburger or Taco Bell, I was able to do so comfortably. And then January 1st, the cut starts. I cut everything else out. I follow my macros strictly, and I do it till the end of February when we weigh in.
So macros, your protein, carbs, and fat. So overloading on protein and
Yeah.
like
So I'm
zero
hitting
fat.
around 230 grams of protein per day, 1,400 calories, around 130 grams of carbs, and only 15 grams of fat per day.
Right, and the fats is just like you really can't help that because it's in everything that we eat. So,
Yeah. I usually
right.
steer away from as much as I can fat-free foods, but I mean, and even chicken breast, you're going to have a percentage of fat that's involved in it.
Yeah,
Plus, you need healthy fats. I can't
right. So
say
like
living the life.
avocados and
Yeah.
right,
So I still
and then
find little wiggle to enjoy those little small like fat fibers that I can, but it's
well,
hard.
like what other little fat treats would you get? like
Hmm.
during this cutting? Like, is there anything you could like sneak in there as part of the 15 grams?
Not really. I mean, I like to make this one dessert. It's just like a caramel rice cake, and I add like either
Can you?
Greek yogurt on it, and then put like a drizzle of syrup. It
Oh,
sounds really weird, but it's really
I thought this was gonna be a whole concoction. I'd be like, I want you to post this on your Instagram, and I want to see the recipe.
it
But
actually is on my little saved highlights because it is that
is it
good.
is it a rice cracker? Like, are you just taking a rice cracker and drizzling sauce on it,
Yeah.
like a
Yep,
caramel
it's just like
sauce?
a rice cake, and then I put what's it called, the Greek yogurt on top of it. If you're feeling a little fancy, you can throw some peach slices on there, strawberry slices, and then some
Blueberries, whatever.
syrup. It is
Yeah,
really good,
that does
especially
sound
when
like a
you're
great
cutting.
snack.
Yeah, when you're cutting, like honestly, anything and everything sounds good. Like
Okay,
the
so
things that
what?
you do.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. For me, I don't ever count fat, count calories. I just eat and eat and eat and eat and like my problem is gaining weight. So it's like I feel like everyone would love to have that problem. For me, I hate it because it's like I can never maintain it. But yet I'm still under 5% body fat, even though I eat whatever the fuck I want. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, I
which is
watch what I
crazy.
eat.
Yeah, it just goes to show how everyone's body is so differently. Like who knows if I were to have a free for all, if I would gain a bunch of weight back, but it does terrify me. That's why I push myself hard every single day, is because I don't want to have any gap period of possibly getting back to where I was, but in your case, it works out for you. Well, not technically, since you're not happy with it, you know what I mean? But everyone's body is just so different on how they process food and what they can process and what they can't
Right.
process.
Now, if you let yourself do a free for all, are you more scared because you know you would retreat back to the crap good comfort foods, or would you kind of just know like, okay, I can have a free for all and I have more space and more flexibility, but like I'm still watching what I eat.
I think the thing that scares me with like the whole free for all is finding the comfort in the food again. I found like comfort in where I'm at now. So I don't want to fall back into old habits. And not only that, like I feel like shit when I have shit food. Like I love cheesecake. I will like literally kiss someone's
Hmm.
toes for a slice of cheesecake.
Or if the
And
toes were dipped in cheesecake.
oh yeah, I would lick them clean,
Yeah.
straight up. No doubt about it.
Same
But like
here.
the thing is, like if I consume too much of it, I genuinely don't feel good. And I think because I keep such a good, I would say, diet, that when I throw it off and I have a bunch of bad food and processed food, my body does not handle it the same that it used to. You know,
Hmm.
I'm sluggish, I'm tired, I get bloated, I feel uncomfortable, you know, all of the above. So for me, when I eat better, like I said, it's to look good, feel good. Like when I eat good, I feel good.
Hmm. Yeah, so like that's why like it's a mental thing, like knowing, like even knowing if you had a free for all, like I feel like for me at least, and probably for you, like we know that if we continue to eat good, we'll feel good. And having a free
Yeah,
for all, it's like okay, like we have a free for all, but like I'm still gonna moderate or maybe not even touch foods that I used to love just because I know I'm not gonna feel good. So
exactly.
I feel like it's more just a mental strength of like and discipline of like, well, yeah, I sure I would love to eat it, but I know I'm not going to feel good. So it's like, what's the point of even eating it?
Exactly. Exactly. It's mind over matter, honestly, is what it comes to. A lot of people think that they're a lot weaker than they really are. It's a it's a mental standpoint that you need to be at. You have
I
to
think
tell you
life is
like
100% mental.
yeah,
I mean, other than the breathing and eating, maybe 1% of our life is physical, but like anything we do is going to be mental.
Yep.
And the fact that, your journey started because of a mental click in your brain is like, I'm tired of this and I want to be better.
Yeah. If
I mean,
you have
that's
that mental desire to change, the physical is just easy, but it's mentally, chemically changing something to make it click and make sense for you as an individual, not for someone else, not for another person to tell you, but for you to do it for yourself.
now what advice though do you give to people that is like, it's a new year, it's 2024, we're 11 days in, and they're all thinking, they're mentally like, yeah, I want to do it, I want to do it, but they're physically not taking action. Like, what advice do you tell people that is not taking the action? Like, what do you tell them, or what advice, or because it's so easy to think it, but I want to say it is sometimes harder to do. Like we can
Yeah.
talk the talk, but can we walk the talk?
Yeah, it's definitely easier said than done. And, one thing for me is like I expected like a flip of a switch, Don't have those expectations. Realize that it takes time. One, to develop a habit and a new lifestyle and a change. But the way I look at it is the small little changes that you apply to your every single day life are going to be way more beneficial than trying one huge change and not succeeding and giving up. So if you can apply a change to every single day that you wake up, be like, okay, yesterday I went on a 15-minute walk. Today I'm going to try to shoot for 20. And if I don't hit 20, I'll do it for the next day. And keep having that drive and that fire underneath your ass to tell yourself, like, get up and do it. You're going to get to where you need to be. And remind yourself that everyone has their story. A lot of people that have reached out to me and talked to me about my weight loss try to compare their life and their story to mine. And it's really hard, like, to kind of say this to someone, but you can't compare your story to other people because everyone's story, no matter if it's written the same, done the same, the outcome is not going to be the same. And yours might be greater, it might be a little bit more hard or a little bit more bumpy, but it's okay because at the end of the day, it's your story and it's what you make out of it. So as long as you keep trying and, keep getting up every single time you fail, you're doing something that's better than doing nothing.
Facts. Words of wisdom from Telsa. I mean, she's living proof of what, 5 6 year journey, health journey, right? Since 19 to
Mm-hmm.
25.
Yeah.
I mean, just everyone has a different journey. Like it's okay to fail. The only way we
Yeah,
succeed is failure. There's no successful person that hasn't failed.
exactly.
But it's not
And
looking
you're
at the
not you're
result.
not technically failing if you're getting
You're
back up and trying again.
well,
Fail,
like I've always
fail.
learned, it's not failing, it's learning.
There you go. There you go. I like that. It's
We
not failing,
never
it's
we
learning.
never lose. We never lose in life. We're just learning.
Yep.
It's
And
perception that
it
changes everyone.
there you go. I like it. Now we're on the same momentum right there. I agree.
That's big MO.
Mhm.
Um, but um, what else do you have planned today? You got work after
I
this?
Yeah, I work at my second job, so I will be there from 3:45 till probably around 1 in the morning.
1 in the morning, and then you wake up in 2 hours and you go do the same thing over and over again.
Correct. The
Well,
best part of my is
I think you look forward to breakfast the most because it's
mhm,
like I'm gonna get a great workout in, then I can finally eat.
like
Cause
fuel
like you're
myself needs to carry on for the rest of the day.
last thing before you go. So what did you start off with the body fat percentage, and what are you trying to get down to?
So when I weighed in, I was 18.7% body fat. which comfortably I usually sit
That's like a
around.
comfortable woman's weight, though. You know, I feel like women should have around 15 to 20% ish. You
So
know, based
women
on height and your body
are,
index.
yeah, it varies every between like height, weight, everything. But usually a woman should be anywhere like healthy between like 24 to 20% body fat for our body to regularly produce what we need to produce.
Hmm.
So I am a little bit on the lower spectrum when it comes to body fat percentage.
Well, you
Um,
probably started
it
at
just
like
like I said,
2%.
varies. Yeah, that's crazy. So I want to get down to at least, if I can hit 10% or even 11%, I'm a happy camper.
When does the competition end?
Into
Like, what's it?
February.
End of February, and the winner is whoever cuts the most or gets the lowest percent.
Yeah. Whoever cuts the most, like most percentage. So, which it kind of sucks because everyone is different and how they can lose weight. So you can have
Right.
someone lose, you know, easily 10%, and then you can have someone like me that's going to take a little bit longer because I already am a little bit lower on the
Hmm.
levels already.
Like, it's
So
harder
it's
for
just a good
healthy people
balance.
to lose body fat.
Yes, because our
Yeah, or
bodies are,
it takes longer. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm excited to stay updated with that. And yeah, I can't wait to see what Marcos has in store for you tomorrow. And I got to get going to my workout. So thank you again, Telsa, for taking this time. I
No, thank
appreciate it.
you for having me. I really appreciated
This is
you let
awesome.
me share my story, talk to you about it, kind of pick my brains in other ways, and
There's so much to
get to
learn.
know you.
So much to learn. So much Taco Bell not to be eaten anymore.
I
Um,
agree.
yeah, this
I,
not to get it in your head, but
I'm crying right
uh,
now. I say I agree.
no, no, don't do it. I tell people that have that weakness and like their kryptonite is fast food, just don't do it.
Not worth it. It's
I'm
not.
not trying to make the unhealthy corporates richer,
Yeah.
you know. So, um, yeah, and hopefully I see you in Arizona. I told you I promised you at least one day at 5 a.m. So
It's gonna happen.
of
And
this year.
I'm counting on the days, and I can't wait.
I mean, yeah, you got to count up on the days. You can't count down because I don't have anything set yet. You know me, I'm just a nomad, like traveling here and there. So
I'm like, wait, you're back in Arizona? You're like, yeah, but I already
yeah, like,
left. I'm like,
yeah, but I'm
okay.
leaving.
Like within a flip of a switch, you're like one second you're
uh,
here, you're like on a plane, and I'm like, wait, hi, bye, okay, guess
yeah,
I'll see you
bye.
soon.
So see you never. Yeah.
Yeah.
One day I'll be a little more stable and I can enjoy, being in one place longer than 4 days or 2 days or one day. But
Well,
again,
I
thank you, Telsa.
thank you.
No, and thank you to the No Filter Network. Best in the biz, Eric Burns. Telsa, we'll see you later. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.